Hello, Frugivore. Welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to debunk another fruit-hating keto doctor because unfortunately they're spreading like a virus. So this lady, Dr. Boz, she is a doctor which immediately tells you she does not understand optimal human nutrition. She hasn't had an education in it, and she's basically just like anyone else in the mainstream. She doesn't know. She doesn't understand. Actually, even worse because she's been through years of indoctrination. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. Okay, so let's watch a video together in its entirety and then I'll address the points. And look at the top comment already. I'm 81 years old, have eaten fruit every day of my life, including grapes, and never gained extra weight. Thank you. Grandma is weighing in on our side. All right, let's go. Let's see what Keto Karen has to say.
Grapes are the worst fruit you could ever eat. Fruit has been sold to us as healthy and nourishing, even by people who used to be carnivore. But the opposite is true.
Fruit is clearly beneficial for the human body. It's very hard to make an argument that fruit is harmful.
Last night, my husband and I left work and went to the sauna. My blood sugar leaving the sauna was 78. On the way home, we stopped by the grocery store and grabbed some ribs. And he picked up a healthy snack. Guess what? Whole food, unprocessed, healthy snack shot my blood sugar up to 225. Grapes. The worst part is, I know that for every minute my blood sugar is that high, my brain is making a few tau proteins, the mechanism behind dementia. On top of that, I know that the excess glucose in my circulation will be converted to fructose, which is preparing my body for winter and to store fat. Fruit is evil.
Is this a parody? Honestly, is this a parody? Is she kidding? I can't believe what trash is on the internet these days. All right, let's get into it.
Grapes are the worst fruit you could ever eat. Fruit has been sold to us as healthy and nourishing, even by people who used to be carnivore. But the opposite is true.
Fruit is clearly beneficial for the human body. It's very hard to make an argument that fruit is harmful.
I'm so glad that I agree with Paul Saladino for once. Excellent, fantastic. Okay.
Last night, my husband and I left work and went to the sauna. My blood sugar leaving the sauna was 78. On the way home, we stopped by the grocery store and grabbed some ribs.
Grab some ribs. Keep that in mind.
And he picked up a healthy snack. Guess what? Whole food, unprocessed, healthy snack shot my blood sugar up to 225. Grapes. The worst part is, I know.
Okay, so let's just stop it there. So she's very, very scared of grapes. You can see it. She actually, I don't know, she looks a little bit crazy in the eyes, if you ask me. So a spike of 225 after just a handful of grapes is quite high, but does it mean that the grapes are bad? Or does it mean that there's a problem with the system it's going into, the grapes are going into? So spikes aren't inherently bad. You need to understand that spikes are good. That is how the fuel gets into the cell. Okay, when they go as high as this one has, it is signaling that there is an issue with her metabolism and her processing of sugar. But it is coming down within 2 hours. And the American Diabetics Association says if your blood sugar is above 180 2 hours after a meal, then that's considered to be an issue. So hers is actually coming down within 2 hours. So insulin is still doing its job. But the fact that she went as high as 225 is something to consider because it's indicative of an issue with her metabolism and she could be pre-diabetic, insulin resistant already. So for comparison, I recently wore a CGM for 14 days and you can see my blood sugar spikes here. You can see how I am long way away from 12. These are my peaks, my spikes, all right? And spikes are good, don't get me wrong. But when she's going up that high, that's definitely signaling a problem. And my HbA1c was 5. My average blood sugar over those 14 days was 5.3. And you can see here. So my system is clearly healthy and thriving on a fruit-based diet after 18 years. And I'm eating way more than a handful of grapes a day. And I'm also adding refined sugar. So you can see the problem clearly is an excess of fat and protein, particularly of animal origin. Basically, the grapes are highlighting she has a problem. They're not the problem. Her metabolism has been broken from the keto diet. The woman is clearly lipotoxic on this keto clownery diet. So this sort of response can happen when you have too much fat in your diet, too much fat in your blood, too much fat in your cells. And she is just demonstrating that the keto diet is not working for her. And she likely has undiagnosed or early stage type 2 diabetes from this reading. So you have to remove the excess fat, of course. You know, she likes her ribs. I'm sure, I think I saw her eating a stick of butter or like a block of butter just before or biting into it. This is really, really unhealthy. I think we know that. And she obviously doesn't, which is very disturbing, seeing she is one of the health professionals out there that we're meant to trust and we're meant to go to for health advice.
Grapes. The worst part is, I know that for every minute my blood sugar is that high, my brain is making a few tau proteins, the mechanism behind dementia.
Oh my gosh. So now she's trying to implicate grapes in the development of dementia. Well done, Keto Karen. But sorry, that is just so far from the truth, because grapes are actually neuroprotective. They have this antioxidant called resveratrol. So they actually improve blood flow and protect against neurodegeneration. And she's trying to say grapes are making me go crazy. Grapes are basically degenerating my brain. Oh my gosh. Keto Karen, stop.
On top of that, I know that the excess glucose in my circulation will be converted to fructose, which is preparing my body for winter and to store fat.
Oh my gosh. What? She must be paid by meat and dairy. No. I looked up before that she's selling a whole lot of supplements, right? She's selling a whole lot of supplements. We are not surprised, are we? So she's saying that the glucose is going to turn into fructose and store as fat. If that was the truth, okay, then I would be huge after nearly 20 years having so much glucose and fructose in my diet. But I'm not. I'm the same weight for like 14 years. Like, it's not, it's such a healthy, slimming way to eat a fruit-based diet. So yeah, obviously that's just ridiculous. And it's something only like a small 3% or something may convert, which is just not even worth talking about.
Fruit is evil.
You know what's evil? When we have so-called health professionals telling millions of humans to not eat their natural diet, to not eat the healthiest food possible for them. That's evil. It's like telling a cow not to eat grass. She's keto clogged. It's obvious. Her metabolism is shot. She's insulin resistant likely, or she's pre-diabetic. And she's trying to implicate grapes instead of looking at her own diet and seeing that it's absolute rubbish and that she is destroying her cells, she's destroying her pancreas, and she is basically setting herself up for a life of injecting insulin. There's actually a recent study this year, a cross-sectional study published in the Taylor and Francis online journal, found that individuals with the highest intake of ketogenic diets had a significantly increased risk of all cancers. Everything. So you're really risking your health and your life going on a keto diet. Fruit is actually consistently shown to be protective in all large population studies. And the science actually shows the opposite, that fruit intake is actually associated with a lower risk of type 2 diabetes, lower risk of dementia, improved cardiovascular health. She just wants attention. It's really obvious she wants to sell her supplements, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So we really need to let her know that it's not okay to spread such misinformation and to be blaming fruit, the innocent party, for her lack of education and her poor diet, which is causing all the issues that she's experiencing. The woman is lipotoxic. Don't eat fruit. Fruit is evil. Fruit is poison. Eat my synthetic supplements instead.